Liz Woods, Ed, Big Ed. Will we ever be in a position where we will stop talking about these two in the same sentence? Is that ever going to happen? Well, I guess it can only stop if people stop asking the question. What do I mean? Well, Liz decided to take to Instagram for the first time in a while, okay? And she simply posted this, saying, ready to go home. Literally an innocent post talking about her obviously being at the airport, ready to fly back home, okay, to obviously spend time with her loved ones. But because of such a simple post, somebody then decided to come in and say, or at least ask her, or at least tell her, while that Ed called you the one that got away, which is a picture we will get into. In the post where he shared a pic with you when you encountered each other recently, would you ever get back with him? Please say no, lol. The growth you have exhibited since you guys split is not worth the time spent with Ed. So Liz goes and says, should I do my first ever Q&A? And to be fair, I'm going to say that she probably regretted doing this, because once she started Q&A, let's just say a lot of the questions were pretty much repetitive. And they're repetitive to the point of where I'm pretty sure you can assume what we're talking about. But let's get into that one, okay? Because after this one itself in particular, she then obviously started off by saying, I'm ready. Now, in the very first one she decided to respond to, this is actually regarding the photo that person was talking about, the one where Liz and Ed obviously encountered each other recently that Ed posted on his page. But Liz says, in response to this question of, are you and Ed talking again? I'm pretty sure it's meant to say talking. She says, oh, to be fair, as you can see, this is where Ed does write on the post. So run into this one in NYC, the one that got away. And that was also the reference as well from the earlier post. Now, as you can see, she responds by saying, he only cared about getting this photo to post and surprise. It's on his top 3 photos for clout. So basically she's saying that he only wanted this picture for clout, nothing else but that. He doesn't care about me. Then also continue by saying he actually shared something so private of mine and posted it, and I cried to the point where he took it down. Like his family knows something I'm waiting to share in a few months. I wonder what that thing is that she's going to be sharing in a few months. And I wonder which photo that he took down that she uploaded, or that he uploaded that he should never uploaded. To be fair, I'm surprised he even took it down, because the guy only cares about himself. You know what I mean? But either way, though, we continue here where she says, like, we are cool, but he's leaking things right now with studio he knows he should not be doing, because he got a job and a paycheck because of me. So I'm assuming that she's saying that maybe the reason why he stayed on the show for so long was because of herself, or maybe she's referencing to something else that Ed is doing that is connection with her. Either way, this is obviously how she feels at this moment in time regarding this response to this first question that she decided to respond to. Then we move on to the next one. As you can see, never go back, never ever go back. An ex is an ex. An ex is with a reason your ex, right? And she obviously puts down never going back. And then also on top of that, this person says, how did you feel seeing Ed? Shocked, but instantly he made it about himself, and I was like, I cried over you. To be fair, the fact that she cried over him is one thing, but the fact that she gave this man 13 opportunities to still be with her, that's the part that's way much more concerning if you ask me personally. And then of course this one's a repetition of the same one before, and again repetition again. Are you still in a relationship? Now this one here is regarding to a relationship with Jayson, where she says, with my ex, nope. Little clout chaser, I have proof, played me, got not one but 2 exes who spoke out on him. So obviously Jayson is somebody that we do know who had cheated on Liz with his actual baby mama, from what I remember, and rumor has it he also cheated with multiple other people as well. Now with that being said, she continues with the next one where he says, hey, are you down to meet up with new people? So cool that you are in, I'm not too sure what WA is, I guess it's wherever she's from. Don't know if that's Washington or somewhere else. Obviously I'm from the UK, so yeah. As you can see, she says, honestly, not really. It's going to take a lot for someone to really let me know we could be chill. I like my little clique on who we meet, on who met me and knew nothing about anything, even my 2 current besties. So obviously she's saying that if she does meet somebody, it has to be somebody who has no idea who the hell Liz Woods is, which to be fair makes sense. It does make a lot of sense. She also talks about her remission. Obviously somebody says, hey, are you in remission? I hope so. Prayers for continued good health, because as we know, she did have cancer, or does have cancer. I'm not too sure which one it is, but either way though, the question is, Are you in remission? She responds by saying, this is really hard to swallow. As of 2 months ago, I am. As of 2 weeks ago, I have a mass that hasn't grown in over a year and now grown to 1 millimeter. I think I shared too soon about previous results in my ovaries. Ovarian cancer is the one that she does have. I guess things aren't exactly where she would like them to be, but we can only hope that things are going to go in the direction that she would like it to be in. Okay, so obviously my thoughts and prayers for anyone that does pray, please obviously do pray for her. Now, she continues here with this one where somebody says, I'm sure everyone is asking, are you considering getting back with Ed? Again, as I said before, there's always going to be that one reoccurring question, isn't it? And this is why I said that I'm pretty sure she probably regretted doing this whole Q&A. But nonetheless, though, she says, F no. What's really sad is so many castmates I was around, they all said Big Ed only talks about himself and takes every opportunity to make a photo about him, a photo opportunity about him, which of course doesn't surprise us because Big Ed is what? He's a narcissist. This person got a bit cheeky and said, can I take you out? But anyway, we ignore that. And again, repetitive again, we already know the answer to this one when it comes to people asking about Big Ed. But then this one, he says, are you friends with Big Ed? If so, why? He disrespected you. She responds by saying, if he called me tomorrow, I'd be there. We haven't spoken to one another in 2 years. This man can reply back to every person in his DM, make a friend with any person he meets out and about the grocery store or restaurant. No one's gonna have us back like I will. With that being said, I hate him. I'm a bit confused. So she would answer, so if he called her, she'd be there for him, but she hates him. The man disrespected you. The man embarrassed you. See, I can agree with the point where she says, I hate him. But the point where she says that she'll be there for him. Give me your thoughts on that one. Very, very confusing personally. How are you doing? Are you happy? That's what matters to me. And of course, she says here, I'm happy, save the date. And then also here, someone else coming, obviously showing us some love. I believe, it's actually her responding to, two other people from the show, itself in particular. Then also this person says, you need time to yourself. You are a wonderful person. You find someone who loves you and your flaws. And she obviously responds by saying 100%. Can you believe it's been 2 years for me, but recently for you all? Now, bear in mind though, ladies and gentlemen, I think this has been 2 years now since her breakup with maybe Jayson, not necessarily Big Ed, because let's not forget though, after Big Ed, there was Jayson. So yeah, there is that part too. Now, of course, this person says, babes, he humiliated you on TV. He's 60-year-old man-child. And she goes, he's not going anywhere. He's a great friend, a funny person, but a shitty partner. I experience it and give a credibility to this. I don't understand that, ladies and gentlemen. Please, somebody make sense to this. You know that he's a shitty person, but yet he's a good friend, just not a good partner. What? Make that make sense. The man done absolutely disgusting things to you on national TV. When we talk about being healed, I do believe that a part of being healed is also being able to move away from certain people and also being able to give your boundaries to those people. And sometimes the boundary that we have to give is don't talk to me. Do you see what I'm saying? Because sometimes some people being in lives is not cool. It's very triggering. So the fact that she will always have the door open for this man, despite the fact that he humiliated 13 times and probably more other times apart from that too, is crazy business. But hey, it's her life, not ours. That's all I can say for that. Then also in this one here, this person says, how did you feel? Oh, my bad. That one did not get paused. How did you feel when Ed posted that? She goes, did he even care to ask me? No. I posted my story, but he posted F of me on his page, then pinned me for clout. He announced something about me that is not been announced for his current paycheck that I asked him to take down. To be fair, I'm very annoyed that I don't know what that is, to be honest with you, because I would have been at least able to tell you guys exactly what she's talking about, but of course that didn't happen. And then of course here, as you can see, somebody else saying the same thing again. Please don't go back to Ed. She says no. 2 of his cousins messaged me saying no. Even his family's telling you stay away from him. That says a lot, doesn't it? Are you going to health treatments? No. How are the health treatments going now? She says, I have a mass that recently grew after remission, which of course she said earlier on today. To be fair, I don't know why she's actually answering every question, or answering questions that are basically been asked already anyway. But then again, it is her first time, so maybe she doesn't know how a Q&A really does work. So it is what it is. Now, of course, in this one here, she said it would make me cry seeing you cry when Ed would make you cry. Yep, no one will understand the love that I had for this man. End of story. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't want to understand. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure we all don't want to know about her and why she ever loved that man. But anyway, with that being said, as you can see here, someone else says, if you're not in a relationship, will you do the single life? Or are you done with the franchise? She says, stay tuned. So that means either one, she'll be back for 90 Day Fiancé the single life, or she's just saying stay tuned just to be a little bit spicy. The question is, folks, would you like to see her return for the single life? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Now, of course, here she does continue. And someone else says, I love how strong you are no matter the situation, especially with Ed. She responds by saying, literally, Ed and I just met for the first effing time in 2 years, and let me tell you why his whole family is viewing my stories. Interesting. So the whole family is now also watching these stories, watching your stories. But then again, maybe they're watching your stories to make sure that you don't make the mistake of going back with Ed again. But who knows? But then again, though, we do know that Liz had a very interesting relationship with Ed's family, and Ed had a very interesting relationship with Liz's family. So there's also that part too, where not only were these two not healthy together, but even when it came to family, even that wasn't healthy neither, from what I remember. Now, of course, she said, how did you feel seeing Ed? I cried and I feel relieved. Crying over Ed will never make sense to me. Will never make sense to me. You know what I mean? Okay, but it is what it is. Never go, oh yeah, but that's another one that she's obviously repeating herself again. You know what I mean? Obviously here, as you can see, someone says, are you still in a relationship? Of course, we know that she's not, but she's now given a slightly different answer where she says, my last relationship knew I was on the show and then had a baby mama girlfriend. Then she then chose to be with me. And that's what's just shit show. My last relationship Jayson knew who I was on the show. Then he had a baby mama, a girlfriend, then chose to be with me. And that's just a shit show. So stay tuned. That is so confusing. So confusing. I thought Ed played me. I'd go back to Ed before my last. Damn. Jayson was that bad that she'd rather go back to Ed? That's crazy business. That's nasty work. Absolutely nasty work. Are you down to meet up with new people? And as you can see, she says no. Chemo and working even in remission, don't waste my time. To be fair, end of the day, her health matters more than anything else right now. So it's good to see that she's more focused on her health than anything else. Now, of course, as you can see here, is Jayson still your boyfriend? Which again, people are still asking that same bloody question. And she obviously says, he had a ring for me, but it's not the ring I'm wearing. I also hope he doesn't pass the one down I found for myself. Whatever that means. I ain't gonna lie to you, Liz half the time, she says a lot of things, but doesn't really always make sense to me. Oh, Jayson, oh man. How I would never get back together with Ed over him. No, how I would get back together with Ed over him. That's crazy though, isn't it? Imagine being in a relationship with Ed, breaks up with you 13 times, then you go in a relationship with somebody else, and then that person makes Ed look like a saint. That is nasty work. Someone making Ed look like a saint. Let that sink in. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you're thinking down below and we'll talk about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.